Welcome to the Wholy Homegirl Podcast, where faith is real, fun is allowed, and wholeness is the goal.
We're just two holy homegirls navigating life as Christian women.
We love God, but we also believe in fun, enjoying life, and becoming the best whole versions of ourselves.
This is a space where we have the real and sometimes uncomfortable conversations that really need to be had,
while still keeping God at the center of it all.
So grab your tea, get comfortable, and stay tuned.
Because you're about to be inspired, challenged, and reminded that you're never walking this journey alone. Welcome to the Wholy Homegirl Podcast. I am Quanice.
I'm Tanessa.
And we are your Holy Homegirls.
Listen.
So
we got a lot to unpack today.
We do.
We've had episode 1, episode 2,
episode 3. And then today, Saturday, it's Saturday for us, is episode 4.
Yeah. We shared the very first podcast episode that we did when it was just kind of like an idea.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a sure thing yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we dropped that.
Yep.
And then last week, we were talking unexpectedly about forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to talk about today?
I think today I want us to dive a little bit more into that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the questions that I had that I wanted us to kind of like unpack, because I think it's important, is have you ever forgiven someone but knew they could never have access to you again?
Whew.
That's deep, right? Yes, that's deep, right?
Like that, y'all. Okay. Do you want to answer that first, or you want me to?
No, you can answer.
Okay. Ooh, have I ever forgiven someone but removed their access from my life?
Mm-hmm. Like you knew, like when you forgave them, when you came to that moment of like, this is done, I'm forgiving you, but you knew that they couldn't ever have access no matter how close they were to you.
Yeah. So the immediate thing that comes to mind with that is obviously a relationship.
Yeah.
There was someone who was not honest about their dynamic, who they really were, who I was to them. And it resulted, oh my goodness, y'all, I'm going to let y'all in some of my business. It resulted,
keep doing that.
I know, and I don't even,
it's all right.
That's not even the goal here.
It's all right.
It resulted in me getting a phone call that had me in tears. I remember calling my other best friend, Jamie, and being like, girl, such and such just did X, Y, and Z. And she was just like, what? Are you for real right now? And I'm like processing this. And once I get off the floor with all my tears, I get up and I'm like, Lord, I didn't see that coming. But you know, on one of the other episodes, we talked about how when we were praying and saying, Lord, help me to see if this is the person or not. And that was an example of me not adding on the end and say, let me be okay. That's why I add that in now, because you had
have
your girl
to
on the floor.
Literally.
But I had to cut off his access to me because he was not being honest with me. And he created this story, almost like a double life, that I was not aware of until I got this call. It was kind of on a Barbara, this is Shirley kind of vibe.
That is not good.
It's not good at all.
That is not good at all.
It's not good at all. And I'm like, dang, was that Barbara? Was that Shirley?
I was somebody. Maybe both.
I don't know. Maybe both. Who knows? Because we still don't know what the story was told. But access was cut off because you don't get to say that you care, say that you value, but be dishonest to me, about me, and other people that make up this unnecessary dynamic.
Right.
So we ain't spoken since, and it's been maybe 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you cut off access for real.
Done. Because you don't get to do that.
Yeah.
Don't play in my face.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like people, like we're too good of people for people to, for one, not know how to lead with honesty. Not know how to be truthful. Not know how to have a conversation because we're very understanding. Even if it hurts us, even if it bothers us, whatever the case may be, you can always have that conversation.
Yeah, you can always have that. And especially when you were friends before relationships started or anything. We have been friends.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
it's insulting.
It's like you lying to your friend.
Yeah.
Bet. Got it.
Yeah.
Done.
It's
done,
insulting.
Done. It is.
Well, I want to say first and foremost, I'm sorry that happened to you, because stuff like that is hard, especially when you love the way that you love, you care the way that you care, and when people do things that
disrupt that.
Yeah, disrupt that. It's like, like you didn't deserve that. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
But yes, I feel like for me, that's a hard thing for me to do. It's a hard thing. Like, I can forgive someone, but if I care or if I've cared, it's hard for me to be like, yep, I'm done. I'm cutting off access. I always I don't want to say I leave the door open, because I don't, but there has been scenarios where I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. I washed my hands with it. But however, if they were to call me years later, what's up? You good? You need, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you need? Yeah. Like, I'm still here. I'm still a sounding board. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's something that I have to work through, because I realize that keeping or allowing people to keep access to me is a hindrance to me, to my growth, to who I've become. You know what I mean? Because there's been a lot of things that has happened to me throughout my life where I've moved on from and I've forgave and whatever. But because I haven't completely severed that access, it still leaves room for them to come back. Yeah. And then I feel like sometimes I'm back in the space where I was all those years ago. And it's like all this hard work that I've done, you know,
it's questioned and it shouldn't be.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, I'm loyal to a fault sometimes. But I am working on saying what I mean what I say, and moving forward. Yeah. You know, this is something we always talk about. You're always like, block him, block them, block them. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. Yeah. I don't want to block them, because what if they need me? Because I meant it when I said I'm going to always be here. But sometimes it's like,
at what cost, though?
Exactly.
And I think that's always my follow-up. At what cost?
Exactly.
Because you're being here for people who have shown you that they will not, not only will they not be here for you, but they won't even consider you.
Exactly.
And I think that you deserve to be considered.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For sure.
And it's one of those things where, like, I have to make a decision for myself that I deserve better. If they didn't appreciate or respect me or care about me enough to not put me in a space where I'm feeling like betrayed or I'm feeling like I have to cut off access, then they didn't care. Yep. And I have to know, I have to love myself enough to know, like, if they don't care, why should I? You know what I'm saying? Why should I continue to give them this access or these benefits or being this safe place? That's what people love to say. Yeah. Being this safe place. And they didn't respect it. Yeah. You know?
But it does take time to get to that space where you're willing to block, because for a long time I was in that same boat. Like, no, I'm gonna keep this thread, or if I did delete it, you know, on the iPhone you really got 30 days to restore.
Right, to restore it.
Why do we know that? Because we be here restoring.
What's crazy is I don't ever delete, so I don't I've heard about restoral, but that's my problem. I don't be deleting. Yeah. Because, baby, I'm going to remember. I'm going to have the proof of what you did in 2011 on September 15th at 4:32 p.m.
See? That's beautiful.
I'm going to remember. I'm going to have it in the phone. I'm going to have it.
Ready.
That's crazy, actually, truly. That's truly crazy. I need to go through my... Because, girl, ain't nobody thinking about September, whatever I just said at 4 whatever.
It was the 3rd of September.
But I'm going to have it. I'm going to have those receipts, because you're not going to play in my face.
Right.
You're not going to play in my face.
Don't play in my face.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I didn't deserve that.
No.
I didn't deserve that. I don't extend that, so don't get that.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think that one thing that we had kind of touched on at the live show was... forgiveness is one of those things where it's not like something like you wake up, you make up in your mind where like, I forgive you. And that's it. That's the end all be all of it, right? Forgiveness looks like it's a choice.
Daily.
Like, you have to choose to forgive whomever every single day, because reality is whatever it is happened, right? Yeah. It happened. It's a real thing. It's true, right? So because it happened, you have to be able to every single day, whenever you're feeling triggered, because there will be times when it triggers you, even if it's years down the line, you have to choose to forgive whoever that person is or whatever that situation is. You have to choose to forgive, because that's all that's going to do is hinder you. And you have to live a life of not like having this mask of like, yeah, I'm good. But then you're really not. You're really not. You have to unpack that. And like, when you choose to forgive somebody, you have to know truly in your hearts of hearts that like, yeah, that hurt me. Acknowledge what happened, acknowledge your feelings, but then be able to say, but I am choosing to move forward and not allowing whatever this was to impact or to hinder who it is that God has me to be.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, like, in those moments where you see it coming back up, what are some ways that you can like process that again in this time? Because I say that because during different seasons, new things can be a trigger.
Absolutely.
That you may not have
didn't know
was a trigger before. So you have to sit in that moment and say, ooh, why is this coming back up? Where is this emotion coming from? And then what do you do to take control of the emotion so that you don't have a negative response?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they've already removed the situation from their mind. So you're still holding on to something that is really irrelevant now because they don't even care. So you have to go back and ask yourself, okay, what are some ways that I can process the trigger or the emotion from this situation in every season?
I think the main thing for that is what you said, is recognizing, like, when it comes up, is recognizing like, ooh, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we like to sweep things under the rug and we're in these funks or we're in these like these moods or whatever, and we're like, I don't know why I feel like this. But sometimes we have to stop, sit, process, unpack, like, okay, Quanice, okay, Tanessa, like, why am I feeling this way? What about this situation is bringing up something negative for me, so that I can be able to grow from whatever that is.
And I think sometimes the new triggers are not always new. They just show up in this particular in this particular example. And I think it's because God is trying to show us, this is an area that I need you to work on, because either it's going to impact the relationships that you have now,
right,
or I need you to teach other people how to maneuver through this. And I think we've said it before, like, a lot of the experiences and situations that we've had are not about us. They are large in part because somebody else is going to come up and be like, man, I'm going through such and such. And we can be like, listening in and say, I've been there and this is what I did to be able to overcome that. So I would say acknowledging it is the first key. It's the first part, because that's the natural response. Ooh, right, let me acknowledge this. But then it goes on to say, okay, God, what do you want me to see or do
to learn in this moment?
And then being open for the learning that has to come from that, because the end of it is always for him to be glorified.
Exactly.
Right? So what we doing? We acknowledging, we talking to God, we're processing, and we're making a decision, and we're having a reaction.
Exactly.
And I don't want to say a reaction, but we are going in and actually making a decision and not just a reaction. Because sometimes if we stop at reaction, then we never get a resolve.
Exactly.
So let's process this, make a decision, and then walk that thing out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I think that something that you said that was good to me and my soul was that we have to remember to consult with God whenever we are going through whatever it is that we're going through. Asking God, okay, what is the lesson that you're trying to teach me in this? Because for whatever reason, all those years ago, or even if it was recent, I didn't learn fully what it was that you needed me to learn. So sometimes it's sitting in like, okay, God, what do you need me to learn? Because it's so important that we grow through the things that we go through, or we're going to continue to be hindered and to be, you know, stuck in these spaces and places and in these cycles when that's not what God ordained for our lives.
Right.
And also another thing that you said was, oftentimes people don't realize that we go through certain things in our life for a reason, and those reasons are seldomly for us. It's seldomly for us and our benefit. Yeah, it hurts, and yeah, we're the one who had to go through it. However, most times it's to be a testimony so that you could help the next person. Because I know that, and you know that God has told you, and also God has told me that we're called to certain people. You know what I'm saying? And in order for us to be called to certain people, we have to experience certain things so that we can help them through whatever it is that they're going through, right? So.
Yeah. No, that's real. That's so real. I think last year, one of the things that, or no, it might have been earlier this year, we were just talking about how sometimes you go through something. It was basically what you said, honestly, just recapping that you have to grow through what you go through. There was another phrase that we had said, I can't think of what that is right now, but I'll just stick with, you have to go through what you grow through, because the seeds are being planted. And even if years ago God wanted you to unpack this, you may not have had the capacity at that time, but now that you've been growing, you now have the capacity to be able to speak to it and to help other people grow through it.
Absolutely.
So we were talking about forgiveness. We were talking about growth, talking about grace. There's just a lot that comes with it. And that's why it is a daily thing, because it's so much to actually unpack that you can't just do it in a moment.
Absolutely.
It really requires consistency
and intentionality. For sure. You have to be intentional in whatever it is that you're doing. Otherwise, you're literally going to be stuck in these cycles
over and over.
Over and over.
Same cycle, new faces, same situation.
Exactly. New faces, same spirits.
Yes, new face, same spirit.
New faces, same spirits.
Are you not tired?
Right, literally. And sometimes I'm like, God, like, I don't. But for whatever reason, like, I have to stop looking at it as like, oh, woe is me. And I have to sit with myself like, okay, Quanice, clearly somewhere along the way, you didn't learn your lesson. You didn't learn truly what God thought, you know, wanted you to learn. You only learned what you wanted to learn.
But also not having condemnation of yourself because you've missed it the first time, because God's grace is sufficient for us. So being able to say, okay, I didn't learn this the first time, but I'm ready now. It gives you a refresher, like a new, like, okay, I'm ready.
And if we're being honest, like, I battle with that. And you know this, like, I battle with condemning myself when it's like, I know the Lord has already forgiven me for the things that I've done that wasn't pleasing to him. You know, I know that he has, but sometimes I'm so hard on myself. Like, honey, you knew better. Why did you do that? You know what I mean? And then I stay stuck in this space of like condemning myself, where it's like, he already forgave you. Like, in order for you to really move on, like, you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself.
Because that's really the first part of forgiveness, right? The first part of forgiveness is going in and saying, I forgive me.
You have to.
However I may have responded, or how I didn't respond, or how I felt about myself. Because this particular conversation, I remember talking to one of my guy friends, and I was telling him that there was something that I was always condemning myself about. And he said to me, Tanessa, why are you able to easily give grace to yourself in other situations, but when it comes to this one thing, you can't? Do you think that God can't, that he's not gracious enough for both of these situations? And I said, first of all, this was a venting session, not for you to come in here and gather me.
Right.
But no, I appreciated it because he was right. Why are you condemning yourself so much in this situation? And I think it partially comes from, because yes, I do know better, but also because I'm supposed to help other people through it. And so when I get stuck in something that I know I'm supposed to help other people through, it's hard.
It's a different kind of hurt.
It's a different kind of hurt. Yeah, it's like, man, I want it to be better. I want it to be better.
Yep.
So it's like, give yourself grace. Forgive yourself. Give yourself grace. Be accountable.
Absolutely.
Because that's a heavy thing. We always talk about accountability. Be accountable, but also be gracious to yourself. Because you need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo. We've been who knew? We've been unpacking a lot.
We really have.
The past but we also talked about that in the beginning when we made a decision to do this podcast and saying we're going to be open to whatever God wants us to share, because it's necessary for somebody to watch an episode and be like, oh, I resonate with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that for us, it's good because there's power in testimony, right? There's power in us sharing the things that we went through, because it's important for people to know that they're not alone in things. And to also know like how we got through it to maybe help them get through it. But I think that one thing that we have to do for people when we go through certain things, I had wrote a question that I wanted to kind of like have an accountability for people who might be struggling with forgiveness of themselves or forgiveness of someone else. I want you to, I'm encouraging you to rather, look deep within yourself, and you need to figure out who do you need to release so you can finally breathe again.
That's good.
And be honest and sit with that. And I want you to literally have a pen and paper and literally ask yourself, who do I need to release that's been holding me back so that I can breathe again and so that you can be whoever it is that God called you to be. Because the more you hold on to these people, these spaces, these places, these things, you're not going to be able to get to where God has you to go because you're holding on so tightly to things that God never really ordained for your life to stay in your life for a lifetime, only a season. So I think it's important that you sit with yourself, pray. Yeah, for sure. Pray before you get to writing. But when you're sitting with yourself, I want you to really think about and ask God, reveal to me who it is that I need to release so that I can breathe again, so that I can walk boldly into who it is that you've called me to be.
So we just gave y'all homework.
We gave y'all homework. We gave y'all homework.
Homeschool.
So I think that, do you have anything else?
No, I feel like that was really good. I want, with the homework assignment, I want to see y'all responses. So please feel free to comment, send us an email or whatever, and let us know what your journal entry looks like, because
you don't have to be specific with your people and stuff like that, but like if you've done it or if you do it and you feel like it's been helpful, let us know. Let us know, because I want people to truly like heal from the things that they've went through, so that, like I said before, they can walk boldly into who God called us to be. And the only way that we're able to do that is to be honest with ourselves and to lay things at His feet so that we can move forward.
Be honest, lay it at His feet, and be gracious to yourself.
Absolutely. Let's do a quick verse of the day for the folks. Let's see. Do you want to do it or?
Go ahead.
Okay. I want to do, can you pull up for me Ephesians?
Yes, in my Bible app.
4, 31 to 32.
31 to 32.
Yes.
Okay. This is the NLT version.
NLT version. So Ephesians 4, 31 and 32. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, harsh words, and slander, as well as all types of evil behavior. Instead, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as God through Christ has forgiven you.
Tender-hearted. I love that word.
Yes, tender-hearted.
Yeah, I really love that word.
So basically, y'all, we have to make sure that we're doing the internal work. Okay? Yeah. So that we can be able to forgive and treat people kindly and love, because that's literally what God called us to do. We might not like people. That's okay. We might not like everybody, but we are called to love everybody. Love people like Christ.
Love your neighbor.
Love your neighbor.
Yes.
So yeah, that is it for us this week. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends to tell their friends. And not just girls. Get your homeboys in because, you know, maybe men need to see perspectives of women too. Yeah. And also there might be things that they relate to because the things that we go through, it's not just specific to a gender.
That's real.
It's reality for everybody. So just because we're women talking about certain things, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're the only ones who go through it.
Yeah.
So right. So yes, tell your homegirls and your homeboys to tune in to your Holy Homegirls. Yay. And we will see you guys next week.
We'll see you next week. We love y'all.
Love y'all. Bye.